of the biggest challenges that urban water services face these days is the continuing urbanization of the world's population. For a long time now, the general trend has been growing cities, and growing populations put stress and strain on the infrastructure that's there.
Population growth, the urbanization, the climate change and the aging, all of them acts in the same direction.
Challenges posed by national and also European regulations like the Water Framework Directive, Drinking Water Directives. It's difficult for a utility to do all this change and adaptation on its own. So it's good to team up with others, to team up with researchers that can assist in this sort of adaptation and change.
A water utility is responsible for the water supply and for the wastewater disposal. We get our income from the amount of water we are selling. So if the people in Hamburg use less water, we may have a financial problem. And for this problem, we need solutions.
The issue is that even the word wastewater is now being questioned. And what used to be waste?
It's not easy to change things in such a complex system like a water supply and sanitation system. These are usually very complex infrastructures, most of it is buried underground, and so you can't follow a simple trial and error approach because this would be very costly and not be accepted by the consumer.
The districts, the council, the federal states, we have the nations, we have the European Union, and everyone has its own laws and guidelines and his own administration. And to get these all together is very complicated.
Water services, of course, don't exist in a vacuum. They serve customers, they are run by people, they exist within a policy framework that governs how they operate. Understanding the dynamics of those kinds of relationships is very important for understanding how new solutions can work.
The biggest challenge is to keep the high level of service which we currently have with many European water services at that particular level, and also have to keep it financially feasible.
What you need is really solutions that are reliable, that are validated. And that's also an added value of such a research project where you have utilities together with researchers. Things the researchers are doing are really tailored to the needs of the utilities.
We are providing tools and improvements to their technologies which they are using, and that should support them in the planning phase of measures in the water cycle, in the operation phase, and also in the maintenance.
It's a resource flow system that we believe can be quite efficient to understand for the general city planners what is their situation, what will be their opportunities, what are their weak points and strong points.
We do not only deliver technology and management tools to do different things, we also deliver tools to analyze the impact of certain technologies or solutions.
We have a lot of people working on the economic side, people working on more on the policy and management side. And I think these workshops were a starting point, a way of bringing a lot of the different stakeholders to the table to have an initial discussion about, okay, what are some of these solutions that might be realistic?
Trust outputs are also relevant for other stakeholders of the water sector, like policymakers, like regulators, for anybody who is involved in strategic planning for the water sector. Trust will deliver solutions that help to have a more sustainable urban water cycle services. Water and drinking water is produced from protected resources without any over-exploitation, and that water supply systems are managed in a more efficient and effective way.
If trust is successful, we have in Hamburg answers of the financial questions we will have in future without trust.
Meeting the challenges of the future, which will make life more difficult for the water utilities, and helping them to be sustainable also in their financial and in their technical infrastructure and in terms of human resources, I think that's what we try to achieve.
Our aspiration is to try and find methods, tools that help the utilities and the stakeholders in general to be sustainable in one generation.
Water service providers will hopefully be able to take on board a lot of new things, cutting-edge technology as it becomes available. I think those sorts of things will be needed in the next 30 to 50 years.
We still have nearly 3 million people dying every year from waterborne diseases, and if we help to reduce this number, we have made a good success.